We would now like to invite two representatives of the major groups and other stakeholders to share their views and priorities with us. So firstly, I'd like to give the floor to Ali Jillani from the Asia Pacific Regional Civil Society Engagement Mechanism Major Group, who will be joining us live virtually. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope I am audible. Co-facilitators, excellencies, and colleagues. I'm Ali Jillani, speaking on behalf of the major groups and other stakeholders. The multidimensionality of the current crises has exacerbated inequalities, exposed shallow public service infrastructures, and questioned our collective ability to respond in the absence of strong political will to address the systemic barriers. Meanwhile, the Global South continues to be confronted with the decaying socioeconomic and ecological systems, policy and fiscal space constraints, illicit financial flows, unfair trade and investment regime, unscrupulous debt distress, and the insatiable IFI conditionalities, restricting national capacities to adopt people-centered, right-based, transformative strategies for the SDGs and huge recovery. In the face of clear failures, with the entire regions falling behind on all SDGs by 2030, it is high time that we prioritized urgent action on fundamental reforms so the runaway degradations do not set in. We cannot afford to remain half-hearted in our pursuit of the Agenda 2030, as the structures critical for action are falling apart, with the demise of the public trust, surging social and political-economic inequality, and shrinking democratic spaces, further exacerbating unequal power relations. This is compounded by the crisis in thought leadership, where the rhetoric of action-oriented and transformative is barely reconciled with the reality, and continues to prioritize consensus over critical considerations, even in the decade of action and delivery. The political declaration should clearly commit to alter the business-as-usual approach, demonstrating clear commitment to ensure equitable financing, technical and technological support for regions, peoples, and priorities left behind. Because although we are halfway there, we are yet nowhere near, as our colleagues at ECERSEM say, and we cannot afford to let the MOI continue to be MIA, that being missing in action. It is also imperative to address the split in our political consciousness, where just the top 5 spenders put over $1.3 trillion in weapons in 2021, compared to mere $185 billion for development by all, certainly not in line with our pursuit of policy coherence for sustainable development. Finally, the essence of partnerships requires broader and meaningful civil society participation, parallel with the immediate reversal of corporatocratization of our deliberative processes for an inclusive, efficient, and responsive multilateralism. It is upon us today, Excellencies, to ensure that we do not leave our generations of the future behind by adopting approaches that prioritize people and the planet over profits. I thank you, Chair.
I thank you. Ali Jillani from the Asia Pacific Regional Civil Society Engagement Mechanism Major Group.